Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Ram.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you very much for joining this beautiful morning. Also, I would like to welcome those devotees who has joined first time. Was Raghunath Priya Prabhu, locally, our very wonderful devotees from Houston. Also, Vivek Rana. I don't know from where he is, but welcome. And also Shravya from Blacksburg, Virginia joined. She is a student. So welcome to this Zoom call and hope and pray that chanting will help in your life. So with this thought also today, Kamini Priya Mataji will be going for her chemotherapy. So I will request everyone to pray for her for 15 seconds. So those spiritual warriors who made our journey successful today was Vajeshwari Pran Devi Dasi, Govinda Mohini Devi Dasi, Survangini Shyam Devi Dasi, Narsimha Lila Chaitanya Prabhu, Kishore Krishna Prabhu, and the new devotees who joined today, and then our regular devotees who always take part in chanting is Ishwar Krishna Prabhu, Yamuna Sundari Mataji, I.V. Gautam, Shubhra Devi Dasi, Rajeshwari Priya Mataji, Sitala Priya Devi Dasi, Sachinandan Krishna Prabhu, Amol and Smita Panchpande, Girivardhari Prabhu, Raghav Chaitanya Prabhu, Manani Mataji, Manmatha Anand Prabhu, Shundri Radha Mataji, Saman Prabhu, Prathmesh Prabhu, Ravi Pipilya Prabhu. Ravi didn't join today, I think. Janki Khan Prabhu, Labanga Latika Mataji, they are traveling. I think it's on the West Coast, so whatever. Rohini Nandan Prabhu, Parmanand Hari Prabhu, Nandan Priya Mataji, Nadia Kumar Prabhu, Rag Bhakti Devi Dasi, Pandurang Devdas Prabhu, Damodarati Mataji, Kasturi Manjari Devi Dasi, Srinivas Acharya Prabhu, Shriya Devi Dasi, Hanuman Prabhu, Tapti Ghosh Mataji, Devendra Krishna Prabhu, Divyansan Saloni, Rohit Mishra Prabhu, Pranath Gopal Prabhu, Radhika Prem Devi Dasi, Braj Vinod Prabhu, Anand Vinodini Devi Dasi, Abhay Joshi Prabhu, Uttam Bhakta Prabhu, Vallabhe Mataji, Rajendra Prabhu, Shrika and Pankaj Gupta, Vijay Keshav Prabhu, Krita Lakshan Prabhu, Matangi Gopi Devi Dasi, Madhvi Gopi Mataji, Namanan Prabhu, Prem Vinodini Mataji, Tulsi Priya Devi Dasi, Jai Govind Prabhu, Kamal Priya Devi Dasi, Amal Nam Prabhu, Karunamai Mataji, Badra Bharti Mataji, Amal Atman Prabhu, Leela Manjari Mataji, Gadadhar Chandra Prabhu, Radha Charan Prabhu, Shugandharaj Prabhu, Aradhana Devi Dasi, Manoj Kapoor Prabhu, Abhay Charan Prabhu, Sukruti Devi Dasi, Balram Prabhu, Kamini Priya Mataji, Sankarsan and Manjari, Rashakida Prabhu, Anand Radhika Devi Dasi, Shyam Sundar Prabhu, Harikatha Devi Dasi. Sorry, I forgot to increase the volume. Haribol. Pitambar Priya Prabhu, Karunya Murti Devi Dasi, Radha Vallabh Prabhu, Shumit Prabhu, Suchitra Devi Dasi, Amit Prabhu, Prem Priya Padma Mataji, Sarmista Sahi Mataji, Mamta Mataji, Rashmi Mataji, Sisa Kapoor Mataji, Rajesh and Sweta, Kanta Mataji, Priyanka Mataji, Sundari Lila Devi Dasi, Sistastika Devi Dasi, Vanmali Prabhu, Rukmini Priya Devi Dasi, Gopal Hari Prabhu didn't join, Adi Gopal Prabhu. Those are the devotees who joined today. So let's hear the wonderful song before we will read from the Jaiva Dharma. Hare Krishna.
Vaishnava Jana to
Thank you very much, Ishwar Krishna Prabhu, playing a wonderful song by the great Bhakta of Gujarat, Narsi Mehta. So we are reading the Jaiva Dharma book. We have finished first three chapters. First chapter was describing the Nitya Dharma and Naimitika Dharma. And on the second chapter was Nitya Dharma was explained in detail. And in the third chapter, Naimitika Dharma was explained in detail. So today we will be embarking on the chapter 4, which is titled The Nitya Dharma is Vaishnavism. The kutira given to Lihiri Mahasaya was next door to that of Sri Vaishnava Das. A number of mango and jackfruit trees stood around nearby, and small flowering betel plants beautifully decorate the surroundings. Outside the kutir, in the center of the courtyard, was a large circular platform, a sacred monument from the time when Sri Pradyumna Brahmachari had first taken up residence here. Vaishnavas had been circulating and offering prostrate obeisances to this platform, affectionately named Sri Surabhi Chahutara for many, many years. Shortly after dusk, as the darkness of night gradually deepened, Vaishnava Das was sitting upon a straw mat inside his kutir, chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. The fourth night of the waning moon held away, and from the nearby kutir of Lahiri Mahasai, a flickering lamp feebly probed the black shadows of the courtyard outside. Seeing a dark and shining snake-like object lying coiled in front of the door of the Vaishnava Das, Lahiri Mahasaya jumped up in a flash and armed himself with a strong stick. Brightening the flame, he picked up his lamp, ready to move upon the snake. However, by the time he had stepped outside, the snake had already disappeared. From the doorway, Lahiri Mahasaya whispered a caution to Vaishnava Das, quote, "Please be very careful. A snake may have just entered your hut." Vaishnava Das replied placidly, "Lahiri Mahasaya, why do you bother about snakes? Kindly come inside and sit down without fear." Hesitantly, Lahiri stepped inside and sat down upon the mat. But he could not calm his mind, saying at last, quote, "In this respect, our Santipur is far better. It is a township, so there is no danger of snakes. Nadia is infested with snakes, especially here in Godruma, where the woods are all around, making it slightly inconvenient for us urbanist folks." Sri Vaishnava Das Babaji placated him, saying, quote, "Lahiri Mahasaya, is it absolutely necessary to agitate your mind with such trivialities? You must have heard of the Parikshit Maharaj episode from Srimad Bhagavatam. Parikshit Maharaj totally ignored the threat of impending death from snake bite. With a placid mind, he absorbed himself in the nectarian pastimes of Sri Krishna, as narrated by the great devotee Srila Sukadeva Goswami, thus attaining divine bliss. Snake cannot reach the spiritual body of the living entity, what to speak of biting it. Furthermore, the snake bite of separation from the topics of Krishna consciousness cause the greatest harm to the body. I think it's a proven fact that if you see the snake, you just chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra and he will leave you alone. No fear. This material body is impermanent and will surely have to be discarded one day. You know, the other day we have a Zoom call with Radhanath Swami Maharaj and Madhvi Gopi Mataji, who is going through also the cancer. And Radhanath Swami Maharaj was repeatedly making the point that we have no assurance how long we will live. Then he gives the example that the Jesus Christ lived 30 years. Then the Shankaracharya lived 31 years. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu lived only 48 years. So Maharaj was saying that even though we will live even 90 years, still we will feel that still I need to live little more. But the most important thing Maharaj was saying that we should utilize every moment of our life, remembering Krishna, glorifying Krishna, chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. It doesn't make any difference how long you live. I think that was a very prominent advice. This material body is impermanent and will surely have to be discarded one day. Physical labor is the only thing preordained for this material tabernacle. When by Krishna's will this body decays, nothing can save it. But as long as the body is not destined to die, it cannot be harmed even while sleeping next to a slave. Rakhe Krishna Mare Kon, Mare Krishna, Rakhe Krishna Mare Kon, or Mare Krishna Rakhe Kon. Therefore, one of the symptoms of a Vaishnava is that he is free from the fear of snake bite and the like. If you are constantly distressed by such imagined forebodings, how will you dovetail your love toward the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord? Simply abandon your fear of snake and the attempts to kill the one that you just saw. Lahiri Mahasaya spoke with deference. Quote, "Respected sir, your words of wisdom has driven all fears out of my heart. I now know that only when I elevate my heart and thoughts can I become eligible for self-realization. Those great sages who dwell in caves and meditate upon the Supreme Lord in loving devotion are not afraid of wild beasts. They peacefully coexist with even the fiercest forest creatures, but nonetheless are greatly afraid of association with worldly-minded people." What a wonderful. Sri Vaishnava Das Babaji continued, when Bhakti Devi, the goddess of pure devotional service, enters the heart, the Jiva automatically becomes elevated, making him dear to all living entities of the world. A pure devotee is always loved and revered by saints and worldly-minded people alike. Therefore, a man must strive to become a Vaishnava. Lahiri Mahasaya immediately replied, quote, "Sir, you have evoked a strong faith in me for Nitya Dharma, and you have convinced me of the many similarities existing between Nitya Dharma and Vaishnava Dharma. Nevertheless, somehow or other, I'm still in doubt about the exact equivalence of Vaishnava Dharma with Nitya Dharma. I beg you to kindly explain these principles to me more exhaustively. Sri Vaishnava Das Babaji began to speak. In the name of Vaishnava Dharma, two separate dharmas are practiced in the world. Listen attentively, all Prabhus and Matajis. The correct Suddha Vaishnava Dharma and the distorted Vidya Vaishnava Dharma. The Suddha Vaishnava Dharma is a singular spiritual principle, but is divided into four sections according to the different devotional mellows. Dasyaras, servitorship; Sakhyaras, friendship; Vatsalyaras, parenthood; and Madhuryaras, conjugality. Indeed, Suddha Vaishnava Dharma is one without a second and is further known as Nitya Dharma, or also as Param Dharma, the supreme function. In Mundaka Upanishad 113, we find Vignate sarvam idam vignatam bhavati. By realizing him in truth, everything becomes known. This aphorism factually describes Shuddha Vaishnava Dharma, which will be revealed to you gradually. The distorted Vidya Vaishnava Dharma is of two varieties. Karma Vidya Vaishnava Dharma, polluted by fruitive work, and Jnana Vidya Vaishnava Dharma, contaminated by the empirical knowledge. The practices of the orthodox Brahmanas, known as smartas, wherein there is a stress on rules, rituals, and methodology in the performance of Vaishnava Dharma, are to be known as Karma Vidya Vaishnava Dharma. In this branch of Vaishnava Dharma, one is initiated with Vaishnava mantra, but one worships the all-pervading Lord of the universe, Sri Vishnu, only as a component of the process of karma. Although Sri Vishnu is actually the supreme independent controller of the Devas, the Smarta philosophy proposed that he is nothing more than a constituent part of the rituals of Karma Kanda, and is himself subject to the result of such fruitive ritualistic performance. In other words, Sri Vishnu is under the influence of karma, rather than the law of karma being dependent upon the supreme will of Sri Vishnu. Further, they claim that upasana, the process of worship, bhakti, devotional surrender, and sadhana, spiritual practices, are all different rituals ultimately consisting of karma. Because the law of karma is the highest principle, unsurpassable by any other. The Mimamsaka, materialistic philosophers and logicians, have practiced this branch of Vaishnavism from time immemorial. In India, such philosophers often arrogantly declare Vaishnavism from time immemorial. Oh, I'm sorry, I read it wrong, so I will repeat this sentence. In India, such philosophers often arrogantly declare themselves Vaishnavas, not acknowledging the sincere followers of Suddha Vaishnava Dharma are the actual Vaishnavas. Certainly, this is their misfortune. Jnana Vidya Vaishnava Dharma is also very widespread in India. In the opinion of these empiricists, Brahman, the incomprehensible, all-pervading absolute truth, is the highest philosophical principle. They say that in order to attain impersonal Brahman realization, one must worship the personal form of Surya, Ganesh, Shakti, Shiva, and Vishnu in the process known as Panchopasana, the worship of the five deities. One is to discard the worship of this personal form upon acquiring full Gyan, which they say occurs upon the final achievement of impersonal Brahman realizations. Similarly, many followers of this philosophy deride the actual pure Vaishnavas. Their worship of Sri Vishnu, initiations into Vishnu mantra, and other ritual pertaining to Sri Vishnu may sometimes include the worship of Sri Radha and Krishna, but still it can never be categorized as the Shuddha Vaishnava Dharma because they consider them demigod and Krishna as the same. That's the offense. If these varieties of Vidya Vaishnava Dharma are separated from the Vaishnava Dharma, then Shuddha Vaishnava Dharma remains, which is the real Vaishnava Dharma. However, because of ill influence of Kali Yuga, many people cannot understand Shuddha Vaishnava Dharma and mistake Vidya Vaishnava Dharma for real Vaishnava Dharma. What a misfortune. We should feel so lucky. I don't think that we deeply analyze all these things, right? I think it's just the grace of those great Vaishnava who bestow their mercy upon all of us to link with their wonderful Sampradaya. We should be ever be grateful. All these varieties of Vidya Vaishnava Dharma are separated from the Vaishnava Dharma. Then Shuddha Vaishnava Dharma remains, which is the real Vaishnava Dharma. However, because of the ill influence of Kali Yuga, many people cannot understand Shuddha Vaishnava Dharma and mistake Vidya Vaishnava Dharma for real Vaishnava Dharma. From the Srimad Bhagavatam 1 to 11, the conclusion can be drawn that the spiritual quest of man branches into three directions: Brahman Pravritti, the impersonal Brahman, and Paramatma Pravritti, the all-pervasive super soul, and the Bhagwan Pravritti, the supreme personality of Godhead. Some persons with an inclination toward Brahman veer toward impersonal realization and embrace the path of Panchopasana to achieve their goal. Jnana Vidya Vaishnava Dharma is born out of this practice. Whilst worshipping Paramatma, some are attracted to pursuing mystic Ashtanga Yoga and meditation upon the super soul within the heart, Ashtanga Yogis. This philosophy propagates the belief that Sri Vishnu, initiation into Vishnu mantra, and the meditations are all part of the rituals of karma vidya, Vaishnava Dharma arises out of this philosophy. Followers of Bhagavad Pravritti, on the other hand, are the fortunate jivas who develop an attractions for unalloyed bhakti to Bhagwan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Their worship of the Supreme Lord is not a part of the process of either karma or jnana, but of the principle of Shuddha Bhakti, pure devotion. This philosophy is the real Vaishnava's Dharma, known as Shuddha Vaishnava Dharma, as stated in Srimad Bhagavatam 1 to 11. Vedanti tattvavidas tattvam yaj jnanam advayam Brahmeti Paramatma iti Bhagwan iti Sabhyate. Learned transcendentalists who know the absolute truth call this non-dual substance Brahman, Paramatma, or Bhagwan. So these are the three realizations of God, and we should feel very fortunate that we have been connected in a disciplic succession where it gives the pure love of God. With those thoughts, we should remain always happy, jubilant, and totally fearless, as our Acharya mentions, that we need to reach to the stage. We should have implicit faith in Guru and Krishna, and they will give us all the guidance needed. They are the one who is going to protect us, not with our own strength. So take complete shelter of those personality and make life successful once and for all. And whoever you come across, give them a kind word that their life can also become successful. With those thoughts, I would like to offer my humble obeisances at the dusk of these wonderful devotees who are joining from Houston, India, New Jersey, Virginia, Boston, Boise, Atlanta, College Station, San Jose, Tempe, Phoenix, Dallas, Detroit, Chicago, Naperville, Philadelphia, Charlotte. Vanchakalpatarubhasya kripa sindhubhaya cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Today I will have to attend something, so I'm gonna log off very quickly.